No, but the void spirit, the storm, it can go a little bit both, right? I think as a storm, you just rush for this orchids, and then you can decide whether or not you care about getting this Yules, or if you just want to go straight to the BKB. Because right now, I mean, storm with orchid BKB is it's free game, right?
Mhm. It's also the way they've drafted it is the way I like to see it. Is like if you know your opponents are going to have something you need to dispel, you just get a save instead, right? So you got the Venge to swap you out if you're getting a little bit too deep.
Yeah, no, so far I'm quite liking what I'm seeing here from Khan. Team Unique, they have this final pick. It's probably gonna be their offlaner, but I feel like their draft is a little bit awkward in the sense that it's very difficult for them to deal damage to any target that has BKB, and it's I don't know, their supports are kind of immobile, and yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm kind of liking Khan's chances here.
Okay. I mean, do you not see maybe some kill potential in that bot lane, right? Because I mean, the Beastmaster against the cast bouncers, it can work against you, and it is a Maledict with a kind of chase down potential of a spec. Or do you
Mm,
think it's just offset by boars full stop, regardless of casks?
hmm. Well, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, I think the Witch Doctor might do. I mean, I think they might handle the lane like the tiny beast. I think they might be okay. I could potentially see the Witch Doctor feed a little bit. I think the Spectre won't really be dying. I am expecting this might even be one of those the healing lane, like where you go
Yeah,
Voodoo Restoration and you just try to sustain. But at the same time, Spectre's last hitting is not the strongest, and Beastmaster has decent attack damage, so I feel like you could potentially bully the Spectre a bit here. And once you get some levels, you can start to push.
that's fair. And
We'll
he'll
have to
probably
see.
look to keep the aggression on them, right? So they're always defensive. That'll free up this what's probably a possible tiny to just rotate around and do as he pleases.
Yeah, I mean the one I guess kind of upside now is that there is the last pick on Unique, so they're gonna get to pick their offlaner, just to counter whatever Khan want.
Hmm.
And yeah, Venge is not really the strongest position 5 when it comes to laning, so I think potentially whatever carry hero that is, he might be in, it might be a bit of a tough lane.
Really good ban on the puck from Khan, by the way. That would have actually shut down basically everything they have. Wonder.
Yeah, potentially.
I mean, like the only one here I see who's not too hindered is Beast, right? Like Beast is like, okay, whatever, I'm coiled, but obviously Storm Spirit has been a big counter.
Hmm.
Venge can't swap people out to save the day. Tiny is really looking to just avalanche toss and move on to the next hero. Wonder what are we like. What are we lacking on Khan? Like you said, they need a carry. They need someone who's like frontline capable as well, right? Like that's what I'm seeing is no one wants to stand up except Beast.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they need like an actual front line. I feel like they're just gonna be right. That's how they go about these fights. Tiny jumps in, Storm jumps in, Beastmaster goes and roars a guy. Like they're
That's
just going
true.
for this. They're just like jumping in, kind of. And
Oh
yeah,
yeah, there you go.
it's just gonna be a draw. So now they're gonna have some pretty easy ways of killing this egg. It's a very fast and mobile lineup, and yeah, I quite like it. Unique have a sort of difficult last pick here. Potentially something like an Underlord could be what they want to go for. Potentially even something like a Darkseer. If they can get it through the laning stage, I think it could actually be quite nice. I think it's very good against Beastmaster. Sure, you're still gonna have issues with the Storm Spirit, but it's just both Spectre and Void Spirit with like fighting together alongside a Darkseer could potentially be quite strong. You're gonna have a lot of magic damage for the early game, and yeah, I mean Khan might struggle to get to their BKBs. Something like Darkseer, Underlord, or heroes that come to mind at least.
We'll give them that kind of reach. I guess the concern is like if you do get the Darkseer, your combo is what Darkseer plus Phoenix. It's pretty vulnerable lane, I want to say, for the Phoenix that you can't really play up in the face at all.
Hmm.
And Phoenix tends to be a bit more greedy of a support, right? You want to give it that early level advantage so it can get up to the egg. I do like Khan's approach to that Drow though, because I guess like the thing I was kind of mistaken when I said that maybe they need more frontline is you're playing against a spec and a void spirit. So any frontline you have can easily be evaded. It's better that what you suggest is the way they play. They just want to jump heroes first and Team Unique, however, they want some frontline. They want some initiation. It is going to be the classic circles. Mars plus Phoenix. Pretty effective as well, actually. If you trap Drow in, like, who's going to really eliminate the egg quick enough?
I mean, the thing is, they have this beast aura, right? So all
Mm.
their heroes are gonna have some decent attack speed. Storm is not really a bad egg hitter. Venge is not amazing, but it's okay with the beast aura. I think you might just be fine.
I think it's just that
And
natural issue whenever it's this combo, though, right? Because the way that Mars and his arena works against these ranged heroes, like, the positioning is so much easier for Phoenix to execute in this game.
yeah, no, for sure. It's not a bad Phoenix game. If
I
the
mean,
draw is kind of out of it. However,
yes.
we're gonna have to see if the Mars can actually get on top of this draw, because I don't know. I think this Venge draw lane is it's not that bad. It's You can deal quite a lot of damage with the howl there from Venge, and also just the multi shot from Drow. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this Mars hero. I think in general, potentially it could be a decent game for it, but I I've got Khan as my favorite here.
Oof. Look at this. They win one game, all of a sudden you're the fans.
Eh,
And I
what are you gonna do?
recall the start of this series, something about Unique having the more impressive players.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that I think that they do to some extent, or at least I mean they have GPK, and I always thought that the Illusion has I think he's had some pretty good performances.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean I think it's just I kind of like the draft, right? It's not just about the
Yeah.
players; it's
No, no,
also
I
about the
get that.
draft. I also think Naive is also a really good player. You know, maybe if these two teams merged and they took the best out of both worlds or whatever, then they could find something.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you suggesting more instability in the tier 2 scene?
No, I would never.
I mean, everyone, you keep talking about it like this, everyone's going to want discount Kuman over here. I like that nickname for him. I feel like it's a nickname is endearable.
Discount Kuman.
Yeah, discount Kuman.
Yeah, I mean, I think on certain heroes he's not really the discount version. I think he has
No.
also some heroes where he's quite strong. I think his anti-mage is one of probably the better heroes
Yeah,
for
but when
Naive.
like I think the one that led me to that was the two with TB and Faceless Void, right? It's like the two
Hmm.
players I think of outside the tier 1 teams when I think of those heroes, like it probably is Naive and Kuman. That's partially because
Yeah,
I cast so
sure.
much EU CIS, but
Hmm.
they are very skilled players. It's definitely one of their specialities.
Yeah,
Cheeky little scout from Vanscore to see where the ward is at. We'll realize it's not on the bottom side. There is one lurking on the top side just to scout the runes for Mio as the lane goes on. This is going to be important 4-minute mark actually for both these heroes in the mid lanes. Both these heroes are going to try and propel themselves off the back of bowls. I'll have to see what this top lane can do. I think there's quite a lot of kill potential, Calm, right? If they like get the toss back on the Witch Doctor, you could very easily see him die even before level 3. Nope. Whoop. Okay, it looked like he accidentally messed up a little moment there as Gilger actually leveled the toss and then walked away. I think Vanscore's made this obvious that he took the coconut as well. So he can't
yeah.
really punish him too much or like offset
No,
the punishment he's taken.
and in this mid lane, they're kind of just trading farm here. There's not the. I guess maybe potentially we could see some kills in this bottom lane. It's not impossible.
I wonder if BCC is going to go for a point in spirit too. Do you think this lane where you just take Bulwark instead? Because you're going to get a lot of pressure on you.
Take Bulwark or not? I mean, you might want the 1 point in Bulwark, right?
It is insane value for 1 point, like 40%
Yeah, I
reduction.
feel like the value is definitely there in just the 1 point.
Oh,
No, I mean it's definitely possible that he gets this just the 1 point. I think potentially if they get to this, like if he manages to get boots and Orb of Venom, potentially then
mhm.
we could see some kills happen onto the Drow or the Venge. Just because of the fact that the Phoenix is very strong in this lane. I mean the attack speed slow just makes it so that the Drow and Venge have to run during this portion.
Yeah, and it's
And
not
then maybe
it's,
we
it's
could
not
see some
lane you
kills.
can stand still and multi-shot that easily in either, right? Because if you do, then that gives time for BZZ to catch up, maybe get a spear back, and then all of
Boots.
a sudden Naive is dead. All right, I think we're
Yeah.
about ready to get underway again. I guess I wonder, like, when does that kill potential unlock? I mean, he's got to. I think you just wait for free, right? Because level 2 Fire Spirits is where you should start being able to kill these guys.
Yeah, I mean it's also about the lane is in the if the lane is close to the Radiant Tower, then it's very difficult to kill either of these heroes. However, if they manage to lose kind of the equilibrium here of the lane, then potentially they could be in trouble once the Phoenix gets some levels.
Oh boy, I think we're having one of those days. For just as little as $5 a month, you could sponsor an upcoming CIS player and ensure that they have reliable internet. I don't know
How
if that's
much?
true. $500 a month through my PayPal.
$500
Oh,
to my account from
uh-huh.
every
And
single viewer.
then I will help them because I am magnanimous. All the money goes to the players, you see, because I'm all about supporting the tier 2 scene. I plan to do that by, like, my first investment is going to be in a mansion so that I can handle the account. I have an office properly in that mansion so I can handle the accounts for all those players. It's really important that we have that.
What if all the viewers in chat just if they all of them just gave me just $100,
Imagine.
then I feel like it would be so valuable for me.
It would. I like, the things I
And to
could
them,
do.
it wouldn't even be that much money.
No, it's just
Just $100
$100.
each.
Yeah,
Imagine all the things I could do.
exactly. Keyword is could. Imagine all the things
If
I
I
could do.
had a little money.
Little money.
Mhm.
I think we're stopping a little here. Hold on a sec. Haven't you
Just
won
a
some
few.
big tournaments, sir?
Just a few shekels. Just a couple shekel roonies.
So, I feel like there's kind of an unfair kind of fishing for money here.
Dineros.
No. See, I don't know if you need the Daenerys because here's a different podcast. You've had opportunities to try and win TI. I
Yes, but I haven't
haven't.
won TI.
That is
So are
true.
you saying because I had the opportunity,
Yeah,
then I
that
shouldn't
one.
get it?
Well, I say one shot, but you had many. Um,
Yes, I've had a couple of attempts.
how many is it? 5?
5, yes.
Damn, son. I mean, that's
Yeah.
impressive. I couldn't make it to one TI.
Yeah, I mean, and what feels so bad is too, like, there's someone like there's some Thompson, right? And he's played 2 TIs and he's won both. And then there's
That does
some of
seem
us
very
who have,
uncommunist and
who have,
community.
who have played at 5, and we're still not there.
What
But we can't all be
TI?
Tottenham, so
What TI was like the one where you're like, man, this is because obviously you feel like you can win them all, or you got to have that mentality. But what was the one where you felt like you had the best shot?
I mean probably TI 1 and 8, I guess. We had some good chances. I think winning, maybe potentially. It's of course kind of difficult, but we had some chances of doing quite well at least. So
Try and get the good
it's
money.
gonna be some rune fight here.
GPK, he can't get the Mio. He had the resonant pulse, and Gilg was able to walk it off due to the boots.
Yeah, and this is very nice for the Storm Spirit. He's gonna find this haste now, and yeah, it kind of makes his mid lane there.
Rough moment. Let's have to see how GPK recovers from that. This is the moment where you just look and go, Illusion. Illusion's like, yeah? You did not secure my rune. Therefore, I will require you to walk back to base and then TP to me to refill my bowl. Now
I
I'm
mean,
kidding.
he's
He'll wait for
gonna
the
just
5
wait
minutes.
for the 5 minute. Yeah, exactly.
See, that is why there are reasonable people in pro teams. I'd be terrible. God, if I had that sort of power in my support. Speaking of supports, one goes down the top lane. A little bit of pressure on the BZZ. They're going to turn around to Naive, though. Now it's his turn. Trying to get
And
those body blocks in.
19, he actually had his boots in his backpack there.
Wait,
and was
what?
unable to run down the Beastmaster. Yeah, I mean, he just swapped them in. And he was also just missing just a small amount of mana there.
This is why
But
we
yeah, the
have you
Witch
on the
Doctor goes
cast.
down.
Because I would have ignored that, and then you wouldn't have been able to shame Cheshire Cat.
No, 19 team.
Oh, 19, yeah, sorry, 19.
Yeah.
See, once again, why we have you in the cast.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying for a cheeky play in the bot lane. They got decent blocks. It's just they're not able to get close enough to Naive to deal some real damage. Meanwhile, mid.
And yeah, so far in this bottom lane, Unique are doing a good job. They're gonna maybe find the draw
Ooh.
here.
Yep, an illusion
Phoenix?
isn't even going to die for this.
Nope. And I mean, that's
Our
just
Phoenix.
the power of these fire spirits. And yeah, I mean, this is the point of the lane where you are actually quite happy, I think. It's like there's this 1 point in Bulwark on Mars. He's got the 2 points in Spear, and he's got his boots. And draw is quite immobile. Yeah, sure, you have the boots as well, but when these fire spirits and the kind of the slow from the Icarus dive are on top of you, then you can be in trouble.
Yeah, it's kind of that confidence play. When you get to your ranged heroes, you have to have this ability to keep running at them, right? Like, you can't go for these poking trays. Like, this situation here. Actually, J4 biting off more than you can chew, it'll be fine, but the problem is that that trade kind of backfires a little and you even out. I think, has he got, yeah, BC should have
Up
salves
top,
coming out.
Fenscar. Cheshire Cat's gonna be in
Cheshire-
trouble though.
yeah,
And
that's
I think
gonna be
this is a
vengeance.
very favorable trade for Unique here. Spectre getting the kill on the Beastmaster there and just getting now some solo XP here. Sure, Beastmaster is already level 6, so when he comes back, the Spectre might be in a little bit of trouble. But if you look now at the net worth graph, you can see just how far ahead the Spectre just got because of this kill. And also the Beastmaster now trailing a little bit.
It's kind of worrying as well, right? Like, when you pick Beastmaster, you do hope, I say hope, you kind of intend to have this means to
Autumn
win
once
the
more.
lane.
This Drow Ranger.
Move force back. They'll pin J4 and look to kill him off instead. BZZ blocks the shot, so Illusion won't be brought down. Naive, he's out of regen as well, so you'll have to play very defensive here.
And you see BCC kind of he's just like turning around a little bit. Just he wants to hear that sound of, you know, getting hit
Donk.
with the Bulwark. Donk.
I love it when
Donk.
they first brought that change in, just watching pro players.
TPK now up top.
Mess with it. Gilga.
They're gonna find Gilger here.
Politics on
Most
him.
likely.
He knows how this one's going to end. They're trying to save the Astral Step. They don't want to have to waste that as well. They even clean up the Hawk.
Yeah, and we see also like 19 team base to just regen up a little bit, and he knows that he can now participate in any fight with the Haunt here. I wouldn't put it past them to kind of like try to set up bottom here now if the Phoenix, he can port back bottom and maybe dive onto the Drow, and they're gonna have the Haunt, and I think that should just be a very easy kill if they get to do that. They have to be a little bit careful though with this Storm. However, he doesn't actually have a port ready at the moment, so I think this is what we're gonna see here.
Haunt forward on Naive. BZZ, though, the magic missile stopped him from getting close enough to use the arena, and this is looking like a complete waste for Unique.
Yeah, and a very
Team on top. GPK's been found. Primal Roar into his face. The full-lock stuns are good enough to secure the kill. That's going to be a painful moment for Unique. Not only do they fail to get anything with that Haunt, but losing their mid so easily.
Yeah, I mean, a very nice. I actually can't believe that worked as well as it did. They wasted Haunt, and the Drow still gets to live, and now even come join top and participate in this push and deal some damage to this tower. Mio is gonna have this regen, so he's gonna be just fine to keep on playing.
Yeah, I definitely felt
Yeah.
like one of those kind of almost too choreographed from Unique, right? Like, you know that 19 has the Haunt, like you were mentioning. And then when a Mars is casually running at you, it becomes a little bit too obvious.
Mid though, J4 is gonna be in a lot of trouble here.
I said a little bit too obvious, not that obvious. Poor little bench. Thought he could just sit mid, get a little bit of extra XP. Just wants that swap so they can actually make some cheeky plays.
Yeah, this Storm though, he's having a really good time just in terms of net worth and levels and everything. He's having a great game so far. I think he might even be getting kind of close to the. Okay, he's not really there yet. He does not have an Oblivion staff yet, so.
No, he
I'm
was
getting
just
ahead of
he's
myself.
baiting you with his his queued items,
Yes,
wasn't he?
exactly. Yes, he has not queued up the full orchids, but instead just for some reason.
He's like, does Echo
Maybe
Saber
next
work well on my hero? Nah. J4, he only just got back to the lane. And he'll already be being brought down again. The Remnant stops him from escaping, and GPK gets the foul tap. Meanwhile, Arena did go down. Gilga is not that easy of a target. They'll get him in the end, but he wasted a little bit extra time. And GPK could not get the haste rune, so far that rune control still working out well for Mio. Yeah, Cheshire Cat admits that he could not defend this lane anymore.
Yeah, I mean, and while the Storm is having a great game, so Naive is kind of struggling in this one. He's gotten off to a very slow start, and the Spectre is pretty happy. So this might be a bit of a, might be one of those games where kind of the Drow Ranger is just gonna have to sit back and like have his team try to protect him. Whether it's the Tiny trying to toss him to safety or Bench just swapping him out or whatever it is. He's gonna have a little bit of a slower one in this game here. But I think you're fine with this as you have the Storm Spirit who is able to kind of to help you play this game right now.
As you make another play top to get a kill on Illusion. Man, these runes have been used so well by Mio so far.
Yeah, and now we're getting close to that Orchids.
There it is.
Yes, I knew it all along.
He just knew he was going to find these extra kills.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he has that complete, he'll probably start hunting GPK, which when you look at the Void Spirit in comparison, this Yule still feels quite a way off.
Yeah, he's definitely not really found the same amount of impact kind of as the Storm, who's having just a great time also now with the stacked camp. I mean, this is going to put him very close to that Orchids already at the 11-minute mark.
And then when you go and you're probably just looking to eliminate GPK every time because that's most of Unique's damage, right? The only comparative is when BZZ lands a good arena.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. BZZ is he's having a pretty good game. There is book 1 now up for the Beastmaster, so he's also looking to kind of participate now in the game.
What's been that Beastmaster? That's not the way he wanted to participate. They catch him with the Haunt in the arena. They'll run him down on the side. Gilga trying to move away from GPK. He's blown his whole load. Only get Tiny down to half HP. They are going to commit the egg. And as a team, you can see kind of panic as they try and bring this down. It's not going to be quick enough just about. But the price is going to be high as Naive tries to run away. It's going to be brought low. The dagger will clean him up. It's a 3-for-1 exchange, and Unique are going to be happy with that one. Actually made that 3-for-2. They actually found the kill under GPK in the end.
Yeah, and a nice fight there. I mean, it was like this is what you want from Phoenix players. I think this is like the sign of a good Phoenix player. It's like, yeah, sometimes you realize that your egg is actually gonna get killed. However, he's diving in there and he's dealing so much damage to these 3 heroes. And so on the back of this egg, sure, the egg actually goes down, but they're winning the fight on the back of this Phoenix egg, right? Like, yes, of course, ideally you want the egg to also survive, but it's just he's forcing the engagement to happen this way, right? And he's forcing these heroes to stay and hit him, but they're all slowed. And so, yes, at the end they do get the egg, but they lose the fight.
Yeah, it's almost
So
like
in
the combat logs, it will just read Phoenix used taunt. It's kind of that fine balance, right? Like, we can always talk about these great eggs where you get it just on the edge, they almost kill it, it goes off, win fight. But sometimes, like, there's 2-3 extra seconds they spend trying to tick you down is just the freedom for the rest of your team to run in and clean up. For the greater good, basically.
And now they have spotted already that the Mio does have this Orchid, so they won't really be caught off guard as easily now. Of course, a lot of places in this map are quite dangerous for Unique, but they are at least aware of the Orchid, so there's that. And there's going to be an Arcane Rune ring on the Storm Spirit.
Of course. Why not find all the good shiny items? So far, one thing that's been going well for Unique is they haven't forfeited too much in the way of towers.
GPK, though, might be in trouble. He gets the...
Nah, it's too deep now.
Yep.
Right now, you probably wish you had a level 2 ball line in, but level 1's good enough to just jump forward on the GPK as he walks back out. They commit the egg. The arena's going to go down. Prime Roar as well, trapping all of them in. BZZ on mark. And when the egg goes off, you're going to be assured that Karnak will lose heroes here. As they try and move the Storm Spirit in to clean up. Illusion cannot dive away. But how high is the price going to be? They'll lose the Witch Doctor as well, so it's a 3-for-2 exchange in favor of Khan. And it's going to get better as they'll also find BZZ.
Yeah, and Mio's are there with that Arcane Rune doing so much work. just able to sustain through so much of that fight just thanks to the Arcane Rune. And I think he saw the Spectre there for a second. He might not be able to do anything anyways. The Spectre's just too tanky with the Foreman shield, but yeah, you can see the Storm he's having a very good game. And also now Naive getting to participate in a fight without dying. You can see his net worth gets pushed up, and he's he's passed both the Void Spirit and the Mars. And GPK is having a pretty rough game here.
I'll take that.
It feels like that rune situation, like missing out on the rune so often, really crippled him in that mid lane. Like you can imagine the difference if he got a haste rune, for example, like the 6-minute mark, right? The sort of rotations you can make so easily.
Sure. Yeah, no, the runes are very important for a lot of these mid heroes, and we've seen it in many games where the one rune or the one kill onto the other mid can mean so much for kind of the entire game. And yeah, you see now that the Storm is kind of like what I was mentioning earlier. He's just queuing up this BKB, and at that point when he gets BKB, I mean, it's going to be so difficult for Unique.
Ooh, good read from GPK. Well, I say good read, but not if you're going to do that. They actually do bait Mio in. They're trying to bring him down. The arena gets commit Primal Roar's enough to kill him off. He can't get away. The Hornet ensures he cannot begin the ball line. And then Cheshire Cat, stuck way too deep, will fall as well. They're going to chase for more. J4 throws out his stun. It won't be good enough to keep him alive. Tick down to the dots. They did find Cheshire Cat inside in the meantime. And there's going to be more. Vanskull also goes down the exchange. We're going to see the egg get committed. And from the low ground, they're not able to actually bring it down quick enough. It will go off, which means 19 team can throw out the dagger. Gilga is in trouble, as you'll see the dive through come out from Illusion. And with the Sun Ray, he'll be able to clean up the kill into Tiny.
Yeah, very kind of interesting approach to that fight. I mean, GPK goes in and kind of saves life, but they bait in the Storm, and they get that kill very quickly. And yeah, from that point on, the fight is kind of difficult for Khan to actually take. But yeah, I was mentioning about the Storm, who's actually also just going in to find an easy kill onto the Phoenix. Yeah, he's just queuing up this BKB, and when he gets BKB, it's gonna be very easy for him. There's no pretty much physical damage whatsoever that he has to be concerned about, and this is just gonna transition into a pretty quick Roche here.
This is the big concern though, right? Like, look at Unique's lineup. Look at the way they're committing to these fights. Everything is being thrown out. All these big cooldown ultimates. And the thing that you look on the other side, Khan, they don't have that limitation. So if they're forcing this out, and these trades are, sometimes very good for Unique, but other times we've seen them be more or less even, then of course Khan can convert it into objectives immediately afterwards, whether that's Roche or pushes on towers.
Yeah, I mean, now they have a very easy way of playing this game from this kind of point on. Just now with the Aegis also on Storm Spirits. Of course, there is a Manta style completed by 19 team, he's by no means having a bad game at all. He's 4-0. He hasn't died yet, and he's participated in a lot of these kills. I also like the fact that he is queuing up this Diffusal. He knows that he has to get active kind of early on and deal a lot of damage. So not being greedy or anything by going some, I don't know, Radiance, whatever. But yeah, it's still kind of easy right now for Khan. It's just they just need to go around as a unit and take down these towers, which is very easy with the Inner Beast and the Drow Ranger, as well as kind of just this bench.
As a unit, right? Not split pushing.
Not
like
so much
Google is
as
doing.
it's split. Yeah, I kind of forgot to bring up the Tiny's had this blink now for a while. We did see it in the last engagement.
Bit hard to use it when you're being jumped on though, and as a result, you can already see the smoke come out. It's Unique are going to move towards the top lane. But I think Khan might be able to get out. Arena jump in. Storm got a little bit greedy, so the Aegis is going to be taken away from him. And guess what?
He might
Remnant
lose more here. There's going to be a Remnant.
Down for the second time.
Yeah, that's a very nice pick off for Unique to get there. I think Storm just stuck around a little bit too long. He didn't zip out in time, and he gets caught off guard by the spear there.
Yeah, there was a little bit of hesitation. He didn't instantly start ball lightning after he got hit up by the horn. Now we'll see it again. That's what we're talking about. As soon as the big ultimates are used, Khan, they smoke up. Of course, there's still an egg to work with on the side of Unique, and they're holding that high ground choke point.
Yeah, they want to find something bigger here than just this Witch Doctor, and they are going to find the Mars too. The Witch Doctor doesn't look like he's going to be dying here, or he might just get chased down now. But
yeah, that's a definite kill.
They find the bigger target.
Exactly. They get two for the price of one. Well, I say one. They did get through that Aegis last time with Storm. Speaking of Storm, in the mid lane, Forcing out GPK's Yules to be used defensively. He's able to move away, though. There's no mana really left for Mio to work with.
Yeah, and hesitating there a little bit, Mio, to kind of pursue further. He doesn't know really who's lurking behind. And 19 team. Okay, he's not. Yeah, Mio now he's starting to respect some of these heroes now. You can see he's trying to get out of there as soon as he can. He just wants to get to that BKB, but now all of a sudden the thing about this is that after losing that Aegis and despite like with him having that really good start, now he's died 2 times and the Spectre has gotten some more net worth and he's gonna be very close to this diffusal, and before Storm gets BKB, he is vulnerable to dying to the Spectre if he just gets a little bit low on mana, because Spectre's chaseability with this is quite potent. And you can see also Naive also queuing up this BKB now.
And we've seen how you can get caught out with those arenas, right? Like, they can instantly jump and ensure that he's stunned long enough that they burn through the entirety of his mana. Well, I say entirety, you're going to burn through so much he's going to be dead by the end of the stun. So it's kind of critical, I think, as these fights go on, that Khan are the ones opening the fights, right? They can't afford to be initiated upon.
Yeah. You know, every single time I hear or say Khan, I want to make the pun about how someone Khan or can't do something. It's too easy, you know? It's just like, it's where my mind goes.
The low bearing fruit.
Yes, very much so.
A delicious mango you can't help but pluck.
And we see now Mio definitely respecting these last kind of deaths that he's had. He's just, as soon as a couple heroes are off map, he just has to zip to safety.
Yeah, it's like the Pavlov dog situation, right? Like, he's learned. You get the crap kicked out of you enough, you adapt your approach.
Someone who might get the crap kicked out of him though. Okay, Naive here. Yeah, he's gonna just walk away there, and he's also getting very close. So they're very close to both these BKBs now. 500 gold away for Naive, and some 250 away for the Storm Spirit.
That doesn't make the game really scarcely unique, right? Because like their control is pretty limited against Magic Immunity.
It is. Some people might even go as far as saying it's very limited,
or non-existent even.
Well, the Phoenix egg, right? If you bait them in while they're BKBing into this Phoenix egg, and for some reason they also don't kill the egg while they're BKB'd, then, you know.
These conditions, like, it's so non-existent, it's starting to sound like a dragon. In the real world.
Hey, man, dragons are real. Okay?
Whoa. Can you give me archaeological or factual proof of that? Oh, jump in! I don't know about proving Naive's existence. He's caught up and killed. J4 will join him in the grave. That was deep but effective from Unique. It's clearly a team that likes to go in deep. And so far, it's paying off. Because
that was
killed the tier 1 tower.
The draw there, not having the BKB finished just yet. So they're going to find some 2 very nice kills. Yeah, next time, most likely. However, the Spectre, by that time, she might already have this Basher here that's queued up. And I mean, I feel like 19 Teen is pretty much the player keeping them in this game right now. Also, some kudos to BCC, who's having a pretty good performance.
Oh, Mio. He's going to be forced to BKB here. Well played. They use that ward effectively. The silence coming out. I mean, GPK doesn't have the case. Free Tango does he? Gilgar arrives just in time. So they'll be able to bring him down. Fan School all of a sudden needs some reinforcements. BCC is here. They're saying, let's bait him out. They put down Death Ward, the Spear through as well. The Egg to ensure there's no sort of counter-attack coming in. The Primal Roar is going to be used. J4 is not quick enough to get rid of this Egg, though. They'll be able to clean up the kill on the Witch Doctor. Dive away is interrupted by the Avalanche onto Illusion, and that means they'll be able to kill for Phoenix as well.
Yeah, once again there, Mio, like, even though he has the BKB, he does go down after it's gone. I think he's just overstaying a little bit, like a lot of these engagements. I feel like none of his deaths are actually kind of warranted, or whatever you want to call it. I feel like he coulda, shoulda, maybe not died these times, but at the end of the day, they still managed to get 3 for the price of 1, so it's not a terrible trade. It's just you don't really want to be losing your Storm that much. And at least now there's going to be this BKB getting completed on Naive.
It's definitely a case of, you could see the moment he used that BKB, you know what the right... Like, we all could tell what the right call is, like, just walk away. But yeah, it's your 10-second BKB.
The thing is, what's starting to get a little bit scary, though, even though Khan are slightly ahead in terms of network, the scary thing is, if the Spectre... Not so much if, but when the Spectre reaches level 20, you're gonna get this boost of HP. You're gonna get the 400 health. I'm assuming he's gonna take it. Um, well, more likely that he takes this at least. Then it's gonna be very difficult to bring him down, and he's gonna deal a lot of damage now with the Basher, the Manta, and the Fusel. So definitely not a pushover.
See if they can deal any to
And
Mio right
Mio
now.
actually
He's running out of mana. That's his final zip. They are hunting right
really
now.
in
The
trouble
class
here.
connected. Look at the rest
He's
of the
gonna
side of
need some
Unique.
backup here. He's
They're
just gonna
coming
get
for that Storm
chased.
Booty.
Okay, he's gonna be
No,
fine.
no, he's not going to be fine. They go in. The Primal Roar comes out. They did use the Horn to get on top of him. Mio is out of mana and outside. He's down. Cheshire Cat gets trapped in the arena. They thought they could counter this, but they can't. BZZ dodges out the incoming damage. 2 cores of Khan are dead, and they're soaring forward looking for more.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine, right?
In a
No, I feel
way,
like once again, kind of Mio off on his solo missions here, and I think it's costing them a lot here. I think now that the Spectre is very close to solo 20, he's just having a great game here on the Spectre. He's gonna be finishing Abyssal. I mean, if he gets to finish this Abyssal kind of soon, okay, he's actually, yeah, no, he's queuing up the Abyssal. So if he does this, he could potentially go for the other talent if he wants to. It's quite a strong talent as well. Just generally, you want to be as tanky as possible on Spectre. But if you already feel unkillable, then you can of course go for this other talent here. But yeah, I think Mio just, I don't know, not really respecting this unique lineup. You know, like there are no actual heroes that kill this Storm. It's just him overplaying his hand, and yeah, being not so careful with his mana usage basically.
yeah, it's definitely a little bit awkward, right? Because you think about how that starts. It's not like it's a panic moment because you got hit by a bash from a Spectre. It's just Spectre's randomly tapping you. And then instead of just going for this clean ball lightning play out, it's almost like he's trying to budget his mana too much. Gets caught by that cask, and it's just all downhill from there.
I think to like what's more is the fact that he is in that position to begin with, and now also Connor kind of it almost looks like they're looking for a fight. However, their Storm is not there. He doesn't have a full bottle, and so joining the engagement is gonna be slightly awkward. So they look a little bit discombobulated right now, and it might have something to do with kind of Neo just feeding all over the place.
Well, that example earlier. Yeah, it's a tourist in different locations, but it's always the same again. I think he has fed in every part of the map now. It's only 4 devs, but in this type of game, like, is this one of those games where you look and go, yeah, Storm can only have 3 devs. He shouldn't have more than 3 devs, for example.
It's not so much one of those games. I would say like, you know, like this hero can't die, because the thing is about Storm as a hero, Storm is not really like a lot of these other like Queen of Pains and stuff like this. Storm as a hero, you're fine to die, right? That's not the issue for this hero, because you can come back, you can scale even despite having that's. It's not like you care that much about that. It's more so the fact that you want to be controlling the map and you want to be doing stuff together with your team, but he's just, I don't know, randomly going places on the map, and it's not making sense.
It's that just because you could doesn't mean you should, right? Just because you could, feed away all these kills and bounce back later, doesn't really mean you should. You're putting yourself at a big disadvantage. Now go try and get the advantage. Gilbert jumps in, sets up the fight. All's going to come out. The Prime Rules already there. Phoenix has to buy back, but he needs to reach the fight in time. The arena's gone down. They're trying to bring down Cheshire Cat. The stance comes out. The egg is committed inside the arena, and they're not even focusing. They're just going to bail. Leave Cheshire Cat behind. Take the Mars with you. It's a 2 for 3 exchange because the Drow did get brought down. And all of a sudden, 19 Teen looking for anything he can find. Instead of chasing dynamic targets, though, he'll go into the pit and find someone who refuses to leave his home.
Yeah, and off the back of that buyback there from Illusion, he just goes back in with the egg again, and yeah, it's a one fight for Unique. And I mean, if this now, it looks like it's gonna turn to Roche. I mean, potentially could try to get some steal here. I think it's.
I think the only thing that's going to be stolen is his
Mio.
life.
Mio also tries to go for the steal there, and Roche is just not low enough, so.
Nope. And now if you try
Now
again...
it's gonna be pretty much too late.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, your mana is... You're already quite low on mana, you know, he could potentially try...
He goes. BKB gets activated. He wants this.
He doesn't have a slot heal. You got the cheese.
But he eats the cheese just about in time. He's about to die there. That bash was almost the end of him.
Yeah, I mean, so at least fortunate there that he gets the cheese. Sure, he has to use it right away, but denying at least the Spectre the cheese. But now the thing about this game is that the 19 Teen, he's just so strong at this point. They can't kill him. They can't, you know, there's no hero that can actually bring him down. And, you know, like, despite Gilgir finding this nice initiation on the 2 heroes. They got to bring them down kind of right away. They just don't have enough damage to go through the Spectre. At this point, they're gonna lose too much to do it. And now with the Aegis also on the Spectre, and also now with this Mindbreaker, I mean, he's dealing so much damage in these fights, and he's also pretty much unkillable. So
I mean, like, you know, sometimes you look at the Constellation, you go, well, at least they got the final hit on Roche, so you can't get a little bit extra gold. But it really is at that stage where Spectre doesn't care that you got that little bit of extra chump change in your pocket. Like, you have no answer to the spec. And as this game goes on, I'm not seeing any, like, item that's going to give you that solution, right? Like, there's no one building Silver Age, for example.
no, there's no one item.
Nope.
Definitely not.
Illusion?
They are gonna find this nice though. 2
They'll get
supports here.
He doesn't get the egg off in time. That's going to be his dieback situation. And Mars just hiding in his own arena, not wanting to play with the incoming participants. The Haunt's going to be thrown out. GPK able to move away. Mio's out of mana, so he has to retreat from the fight, which means he's going to leave behind the Drow. Hung and dry again, but that's not the only one. Cheshire Cat. Spear is off the mark from BZZ. Primal gets thrown out. And with that speed buff, he's able to move away quick enough. It looks like Unique will have to settle for the tower.
I think if 19 team there had a bit more mana, I think they would have, they would have just pursued there. But it's kind of low there, and sure they do find these 2 supports, but they lose their Drow once again.
Yeah,
and as for an item, I think potentially we might see this Silver Edge point from the Drow. I really would like to see a Silver Edge at some point. Just I'm not sure what the Butterfly is gonna do for him. I think even Pyke will be fine. Just I feel like he needs to be able to relocate himself. I like the Silver Edge just both against the Spectre and the Mars. It would definitely help you with some of those damage issues.
Yeah, I think the
way
way
might go in here on Gilgir. Yeah,
he's definitely going in.
Tiny is gonna be in trouble here.
Very much so. Ball lightning in. They're trying to turn this around. BZZ gets started up. Can't throw out that arena. Yules. But BKB's being activated by Storm Spirit. Instead, they focus the fire on the Cheshire Cat, pinning him against the wall, which means he's now separated from his teams. They'll run him down. On the side, Gilgir trying to get rid of Vanscore. Will turn on the healing, and as a result, Gilgir cannot close out this kill. It's just going to be a free for none. Vanscore moves away from the arrows of the Drow in time.
Yeah, and it looks like Naive he's queuing up. I'm guessing this is going to be a Satanic, but this is very awkward, I think. Mio is going to get a kill. Oh
no, no. BCC Spear connects onto the Storm Spirit. They're going to start him up. The bash follow up with the Abyssal is good enough to kill off the Storm. Dead for 90 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, the play was fine. Making this play, you got a port right away, right? The whole idea is that you want to be getting the kill and then you're out of there. But, I mean, he had a good 2 seconds at least. Like, they had so much time to kill that Storm. And yeah, I feel like Neo
as well.
Yeah, Naive here potentially in trouble if they get the Yules off.
Yeah, they do, but they decide against it. It's too close to base. They don't know where the Venge is, so they'll let it go.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Mio's I mean, if you're looking at why this game is going the way it's going, I think he's the culprit for this. I feel like his play, like from the start, it was exceptional. I think he was off to a very good start, but.
Cheshire Cat has been caught. Primal Roar once again for that speed boost just to run away. However, the arena is there from BZZ to ensure that he is going to die. I mean, at least this one, like, we aren't saying the word Mio, but I think you're right. The blame kind of has to be landed there. The fact he's dead is just allowing Unique to confidently do whatever they want.
Yeah, and I also think at this point, I mean, I feel like it's kind of... I mean, in theory, I think Khan could make a comeback if they manage to somehow get a kill on the Spectre, when the Aegis gets reclaimed. It's just that, I mean, the Spectre is about to hit 25. There's going to be a Scotty coming up very shortly, and you're going to get this 5+% dispersion talent. If you want to, you can go for the damage too.
You definitely cover yourself with somehow. Somehow they have to not give more gold to 19D. Somehow they need to get several thousand gold worth to counter him, and I don't know if you're going to be able to get it in time.
Yeah, he just gets reclaimed. But yeah, I mean, very close to that Skadi now. This is a difficult kind of base defense here.
And you actually have to be very careful Mio as well, right? Like you've seen that you can get caught out when you try and do this ball lightning. So if it's not a ball lightning TP, you might find BZZ up in your face with Yules ready to end your day.
Yeah, I mean, this Abyssal Blade on the Spectre is very scary for you. Uh, you
Oh
most
no,
likely do
Gilga.
not have time to press BKB.
Well, I think this is going to be the one that breaks their back. Naive gets trapped in. BKB gets activated. The egg is down as well, but nobody can deal with it. Drow Ranger stuck here. Primal Roar gets thrown out, but the damage looks like it's already done. It's will bring down the Drow Ranger, force them back to their fountain, and turn around the well on the builds. Nice toss back though. Trying to drag the spec in with his sisters of the fountain. Maybe they can do this, but GBK is trying to tank for his teammate, and he will do exactly that. 19T is staying alive. The link is on him to protect him, and Gilga is going to be brought down instead. That's unique. They say no man left behind. Or girl, whatever it is, we get it out in one piece. This 19 team will live to fight another day, but this Storm Spirit will not be so lucky. The GG gets forced out, and Team Unique take game 2.
Yeah, and I think they snatched defeat from the jaws of victory there. Khan. I think the game wasn't very much in their hands. They sort of just. I feel like it was a lot on Mio. Very strong performance on the Spectre, at least by 19 team in this game. Kind of redeeming himself a little bit for some of the maybe lesser accurate moves in the previous game. But yeah, I think I feel like yeah, this was pretty much mostly just on Mio. Sure, he had a really good start, and he was making things work, but after that, he kind of just dropped the ball.
It's one of those awkward moments when his name is MLG winner as well. Um, Definitely not the MVP of this series. I mean, it. Some people get like, "Oh, don't be so mean to Mio. Why are we kind of hopping on Mio?" But like, in this game, you kind of highlight yourself, right? Like, it's not the hardest Storm Spirit game, right? It's not the freest, but at the same time, the way you can play this game, as long as you're playing with your team, as long as Khan are playing as 5, it's very hard for Unique to do anything outside of this blow your entire load of big ultimates at once moment.
Hmm.
And I felt like Khan kept trying to punish that, but every time they did, the Mio factor came into the equation, right? Like if enemy team does not have ultimates, then equal attack, you give your probability. But then there's a bracket that says if Mio off dying somewhere else or dead, all of a sudden lose 50% of your kill potential.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know if it's just 50%, but you lose a lot of your kill potential there for sure. Yeah, just I don't know. I think it's a little bit sad to see it's off to such a good start, and then it was a nice performance, and then you kind of just you throw it out the window, but it happens.
Stuff happens. And some important stuff is going to happen next. Because we've got one more best of 2 coming straight to you. That's between 5 Men and Bait. Both of these teams are in desperate need of points. Bait is looming very close to the demise and the elimination point at this rate. They've only got 2 series left. After this one, it'll be against Mud Golems on the 22nd. So that's important for them. With 5 Men, not the easiest of targets. They're going to have Khan face off against tomorrow and Nip on the final day. So everyone here needs points because 5 Men, they're sitting at 3 to 7, whereas obviously Bait is down at 111. This series, especially important for Bait, of course. I think unless they get 3 points across their 2 remaining series, they're out. And there's a chance to Elim Empire alongside that and then keep in. Because only one team is going to be eliminated from
Right.
this phase. But what we're getting at is the fact that Bait, they're going to do it now. They're going to go, we had our warm up. We listened to Coach Pajkatt. His words were wise. Our heads were nodded. We have evolved into a grand team and are now going to spank 5 Men, start the comeback, make it to the goddamn finals, and have Dendy lift that virtual trophy in all its glory. Okay,
I mean, 8 is higher than 5, right?
that's the sort of thinking we need. Coach right
Yes.
here. Why is no team using him right now? Maybe Bait should. Maybe they could win if they did. Maybe they're going to win without him. We'll find all that out after a short break.